A water pitcher froze in midair above a white tablecloth. A man in a tan coat leaned across the corner booth and whispered one word into the underboss's ear. The word was wire. Her hand did not shake. She kept pouring. The water ran over the rim of the glass and onto the linen, and she did not stop until the underboss looked up and smiled at her belly and asked if the baby was kicking tonight. She said yes. She said it without breathing. She said it because the Don was sitting 20 feet away with his back to the door, and he had no idea what had just been said about him. Her name was Teresa. 7 months along. $12 an hour plus tips. And in the next 40 minutes, she would have to tell the most dangerous man in the neighborhood that his second-in-command was about to hand him to the feds. How does a pregnant waitress warn a mafia boss without dying in the kitchen? Stay with me on this one. She had worked at the restaurant for 4 years. She knew which fork the Don used first. She knew he drank his espresso scalding, never with sugar, never with a lemon peel, and that he tapped the saucer twice with his thumb before the first sip. She knew the underboss came in on Tuesdays and Fridays, ordered the veal, complained about the veal, ate the veal anyway. She knew the cook by his first name and his second name, and the name of his sister in Calabria. She knew the busboy was the Don's nephew on his wife's side, and that the busboy was not yet trusted with anything more than water glasses. She also knew the rules. The wait staff did not speak unless spoken to. The wait staff did not look at faces in the corner booth. The wait staff did not remember anyone who was not on the reservation list. The wait staff did not write anything down. Orders were memorized. Tickets were burned in the prep kitchen at the end of the night. Phones were left in the locker by the back door. If a man at the corner booth raised a finger, the wait staff came. If he did not raise a finger, the wait staff did not exist. Teresa had followed those rules since the first night she pinned her apron on. She had not broken one. Not once. She had not planned to be a waitress at 31. She had not planned to be pregnant at 31 either. The father of the baby was a long-haul driver who had stopped calling 4 months in, and whose number she had since deleted from her phone. She did not cry about it anymore. She had a small apartment over a laundromat. She had a crib still in the box. She had a folder of pediatrician brochures on her kitchen counter. She had 3 months until the baby and one job that paid her enough to keep both of them alive. That was the entire ledger of her life. And every page of it ran through the corner booth. Her mother had died the year before. Her father was somewhere in Florida with a woman whose name Teresa had never bothered to learn. She had a younger brother in Albany who called her on her birthday and on Christmas and at no other point in the year. There was no one to ask for help. There was no one to move in with. There was no one who would have stood between her and the cold if the cold ever came for her. She had built her life one small piece at a time after her mother's funeral. The job at the restaurant had been the first piece. The apartment over the